हेलो एंड गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी। आज हम स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं विद द हॉन्टेड हाउस। दिस इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट एंड द लेंथीएस्ट पोएम इन योर सिलेबस एंड this is this poem is of a level. This poem is quite intricate, this poem is quite difficult, and this poem has a lot of deep meaning and a lot of wordplay as well. तो हम धीरे धीरे इस पोएम को ब्रेक डाउन करेंगे. बेसिकली द प्रेमिस ऑफ दिस पोएम, इफ आई हैव टू टॉक अबाउट इट, द प्रेमिस इज व्हेन people pass on, they are never completely and entirely gone from this world, and these people are harmless. These souls, these ghosts are harmless. The poem does not have a spooky and eerie vibe as it is made to believe to us ki by the name that the haunted houses है ना, कि it okay, it will have a very eerie vibe है ना. So it is not something that is done here. It is basically a way to emphasize and make the reader more engrossed in okay, what actually this is. It is rather that than rather it is a spooky or a horror poem, right? It talks about a lot of things. It opens with a very with a chilling kind of an atmosphere, but it is not that the ghost is trying to harm you in a way, and it ends with a very beautiful note. It ties the aspiration part of human life and the afterlife very nicely. So धीरे धीरे स्टार्ट करते हैं और वर्ड बाय वर्ड इसको ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं. All houses wherein men have lived and died are haunted houses. जितने भी घर हैं जहां पे men जिए और मरे हैं वो haunted houses हैं. Every house has a history basically, and wherever somebody has resided, it is a haunted house. Through the open doors, जहां खुली खिड़कियां हैं, the harmless phantoms on their errands glide, है ना. जहां खुली खिड़कियां हैं वहां पे हार्मलेस फैंटम्स, मतलब रेफरिंग टू घोस्ट्स, है ना. दे आर हार्मलेस इन नेचर. पहली हमको इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया कि दीज क्रीचर्स आर हार्मलेस. On their errands glide with feet that make no sound upon the floors, with feet which cannot make any physical contact to the floor, or even if it does, they are so light that there is no sound made. We meet them at the doorway, on the stair, along the passages they come and go. हम लोग उनसे डोरवे पे भी मिलते हैं, सीनों पे भी मिलते हैं. जो पैसेजेस हैं जहाँ से मतलब हॉलवेज होते हैं जहाँ से आप पास करते हो किसी घर में, तो वहां पे भी मिलते हैं. वी आर दे आर एवरीवेयर. दे आर विद अस 24/7, बट दीज आर नॉट क्रीचर्स दैट दे आर ट्राइंग टू हार्म यू. Impalpable impressions on the air. Impalpable, basically something which cannot be felt physically. Something which can't be, sorry, why did I make dot here, sorry. Okay, I'm ruining it. Which can't be felt physically. Important word here, so that is why इतना लंबा मैंने आपको उसका explanation दे दिया. But this is a important term and you should use it in your answers as well. Impalpable impressions on the air. These creatures are not felt physically, but when you move through these doorways and hallways, you get a sense that okay, somebody else is also with me here, right? A sense of something moving to and fro. कोई इधर उधर जा रहा है, आगे पीछे हो रहा है. यू आर गेटिंग द सेंस ऑफ दैट. यू आर ऑलवेज देर इज अ सेंस ऑफ अच्छा ये है, दिस एग्जिस्ट, दिस इज बैड, दिस इज नॉट गुड, राइट. सो देर इज ऑलवेज अ सेंस ऑफ दैट. देर आर मोर गेस्ट्स एट द टेबल than the host invited. The illuminated hall is thronged with quiet, inoffensive ghosts. ना, जो हमारा क्या टेबल है जहाँ पे हमने लोगों को इनवाइट किया है फॉर फूड, है ना, मतलब आप दिस इज ऑल्सो प्ले ऑन कि कैसे रियल लाइफ भी वर्क करती है। अगर आपने कभी पार्टी ऑर्गेनाइज कराई होगी घर पे तो देखा होगा कि द नंबर ऑफ गेस्ट दैट यू इनवाइट हमेशा या तो ज़्यादा होंगे और बहुत मुश्किल होगा कि कम आए, बट यूजुअली द पीपल यू इनवाइट दे आर मोर देन वॉट द नंबर और स्ट्रेंथ दैट यू आर एक्सपेक्टिंग, दैट इज द बेसिक नॉर्म। एंड यहाँ पे उसको भी एक तरीके से उस पर भी प्ले किया गया है, बट यहाँ पे डीपर मीनिंग क्या है, डीपर मीनिंग क्या है कि जो घोस्ट्स और सोल्स हैं दे आर ऑल्सो प्रेजेंट एट द टेबल, सो इन अ सेंस जो लोग बुलाए थे उससे ज्यादा लोग पूरा प्रेजेंट हैं उस एरिया में। इस थ्रॉन्ग्ड हमने जूलियस सीजर में पढ़ा है, थ्रॉन्ग्ड मीनिंग अ क्राउड, सो थ्रॉन्ग क्या हुआ, क्राउडेड, है ना। इस थ्रॉन्ग्ड विथ क्वाइट, चुप रहने वाले, इनऑफेंसिव, फिर से हार्मलेसनेस पे एम्फेसिस दिया गया है ना। दीज घोस्ट्स आर इनऑफेंसिव मतलब दे आर हार्मलेस, एज साइलेंट एज द पिक्चर ऑन द वॉल, है ना, जैसे कि एक पिक्चर है दीवार पे टंगी हुई उसी की तरीके से ये घोस्ट भी हैं, है ना। ये मैंने इमेज लगाई है इसमें, देखिए, इट इज फ्रेमिंग अ घोस्ट वेरी वेल, so it is like a picture on a wall, but these people are not felt by us, they are just there, right? The stranger at my fireside cannot see the form I see, मेरे साथ जो एक stranger बैठा है he cannot see the forms I see, he cannot see the apparitions that I can see, right? Nor hear the sounds I hear, and nor he can hear the sounds that I am able to hear, he but perceives what is, while unto me all that has been is visible and clear, he perceives what there is, but while unto me, जब मेरी बात करोगे, so it talks about कि मुझे सब चीज visible और clear है। Maybe this is a way of the poet to convey that he has a deeper connect with the other world, a deeper connect with the afterlife, right? Rather than normal individuals who cannot see anything or hear anything, he is able to be sensory about it, he is sensitive to it, meaning that the poet may have some sort of gift from God in this way. We have no title deeds to house or lands, owners and occupants of earlier dates from graves forgot then stretch their dusty hands, right? हमारे पास कोई टाइटल डीड्स नहीं है जिससे हमको पता चले कि इस जमीन को प्रीवियसली किसने ओन किया, who were the past possessors of this property, we don't have anything on it. ओनर्स एंड ऑक्यूपेंट्स, जो भी ओनर्स थे, ऑक्यूपेंट्स थे इस जमीन के, वी डोंट नो मच अबाउट देम ऑफ अर्लियर डेट्स, फ्रॉम ग्रेव्स फॉरगॉटन स्ट्रेच देयर डस्टी हैंड्स एंड होल्ड इन मॉटमैन स्टिल देयर ओल्ड स्टेट्स, है ना। सो अपनी ग्रेव से वो अपने धूल भरे हाथ निकाल रहे हैं और अभी भी दे आर ट्राइंग टू रीऑक्यूपाई दैट लैंड, दे आर feeling that they are still in possession of that land, they have never given it up or never have let it go, but thing is they have passed away, so वो physically उस पे क्या कहते हैं, वो तो कब्जा जमा नहीं सकते हैं, so in the afterlife they are dwelling there, they are not able to move on from it, and they are just there and hold in mortmain still their old estates, है ना, hold in possession their old estates. The spirit world around this world of sense मतलब physical world where we live. Physical world where we live floats like an atmosphere and everywhere wafts through these early mists and vapor dens, है ना। यहाँ पे फ्लोट करता है like एटमॉस्फियर में ये फ्लोट करते हैं, और मतलब फिजिकल वर्ल्ड में दे आर फ्लोटिंग इन द एटमॉस्फेयर, और जहाँ पे भी एवरीवेयर वॉफ्स थ्रू दीज अर्थली मिस्ट एंड डेंस एयर, मतलब दे फ्लोट अराउंड एंड वॉफ्ट इन द dense humid air of the earth. Earthly mists मतलब air which has water vapor in it and vapor dense मतलब densely compacted vapor, a vital breath of more ethereal air, है ना. So this is a vital breath of a more ethereal air. This air does not only have oxygen but it has ghosts in it as well. Our little lives are kept in equipoise meaning balance. From now, this is going to cover the ambition part of it. By the way, the writer is said to be a very profound fireside writer. Fireside writer are writers who write poems for the family or the prose for the family to read together. That is all. By opposite attractions and desire. By opposite attractions and desires, the struggle of the instinct that enjoys and the more noble instinct that aspires, है ना. बाय ऑपोजिट बहुत ऐसी क्या कहते हैं डिफरेंट एस्पिरेशंस होती हैं वुमन की और डिजायर्स होते हैं जो बहुत ही ऑपोजिट होते हैं इन नेचर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल किसी को खाने में आइसक्रीम भी पसंद हो सकती है लेकिन खाने में बहुत गरम गरम गुलाब जामुन भी. तो डिजायर्स आर ऑपोजिट्स, है ना. The struggle of instinct that enjoys, the struggle of instincts, and there is always a sense of struggle in your instinct, which to a level some people do enjoy. But and the more noble instinct that inspires, but there is a more nobler instinct which is aspiration. Aspiration is said to be the more noble instinct. These permutations, these troubles or desires, this perpetual jar, this unending sadness of earthly wants and aspirations high, where you have a lot of earthly wants that you want to have and where you have a lot of aspirations as well, come from the influence of an unseen star. It comes from where? It comes from the influence of an unseen star. अब इसके दो मीनिंग्स हो सकते हैं. या तो जो आपका ग्रह होता है, जो मतलब अगर मुझे एस्ट्रोलॉजिकल टर्म्स में बात करनी हो तो आपका एक ग्रह होता है, तो उस ग्रह की वजह से जो आपका थॉट है वो इन्फ्लुएंस हो रहा है और आप वो डिसीजन ले रहे हो एंड यू वांट दैट थिंग बिकॉज ऑफ दैट स्टार. करेक्ट. या फिर ये हो सकता है इसका मीनिंग अ मोर मेरे हिसाब से लॉजिकल मीनिंग कि देर इज ऑलवेज समथिंग दैट इंट्रिंसिकली मोटिवेट्स यू टू डू समथिंग. अनसीन स्टार, इट कुड बी अ स्टार, अ पर्सन who is high in standing and regard, but you have never seen him in person. So that is what it also can relate to, right? An undiscovered planet in our sky. And undiscovered planet जो हमारा ग्रह है, जो हमने कभी डिस्कवर नहीं किया है आज तक, क्या कहते हैं, अर्थलिंग्स ने नहीं डिस्कवर किया है, वो हो सकता है. And as the moon from some dark gate of cloud throws over the sea a floating light, a floating bridge of light, across whose trembling planks are fancies crowd, into the realm of mystery and night, है ना. और जैसे ही मून जो है वो एक डार्क गेट ऑफ क्लाउड से थोड़ी बहुत फ्लोटिंग ब्रिज ऑफ लाइट, बहुत हल्की सी मून लाइट आती है, एंड हुज ट्रेम्बलिंग प्लैंक्स आर फैंसीज क्राउड, और वो जो कि लाइट है वो जो भी मजमा है वो उसको एंजॉय करता है. ट्रेम्बलिंग प्लैंक्स मतलब द लाइट इज वेरी अनस्टेबल. इनटू द रेल्म ऑफ मिस्ट्री एंड नाइट, इनटू द रेल्म ऑफ वेयर मिस्ट्री एंड नाइट, रात के वक्त और एक मिस्टीरियस टाइम के टाइम ये लाइट इफेक्ट में होती है. एंड व्हाट डज इट डू? इट ब्लर्स द लाइन बिटवीन afterworld and physical world. What is it doing? It is blurring the line between these two. So from the world of spirits there descends, वहां से from the world of spirits there descends a bridge of light connecting it with this, है ना. सो वर्ल्ड ऑफ स्पिरिट से भी एक ब्रिज ऑफ लाइट है, मतलब मून लाइट जो है, इट इज बीइंग सेड एज इट इज द लाइट फॉर द फ्रॉम द वर्ल्ड ऑफ स्पिरिट्स, कनेक्टिंग इट विद दिस or whose unsteady floor that sways and bends wander our thoughts above the dark abyss, है ना. over whose unsteady floor that sways and bends, जो कि जो ये ब्रिज ऑफ लाइट है वो एक अनस्टेडी फ्लोर है, इट डज नॉट हैव दैट स्टेडीनेस इन इट दैट स्वेज, ये स्वे भी करता है एंड इट बेंड्स, है ना. वॉन्डर आर थॉट्स अबव द डार्क एबिस, है ना. उसी की वजह से हमारे जो ख्यालात हैं दे स्टार्ट टू वंडर, दे स्टार्ट टू गो हेवी एंड दे स्टार्ट टू रन वाइल्ड बिकॉज ऑफ द डार्क एबिस, है ना. तो बहुत लाइट पोयम नहीं है, बहुत डीप पोयम है ये. इट इज वेरी रिमार्केबल दैट ISC has given it in your syllabus as well. Hopefully I have done justice to it. कोई doubt हो, question हो, query हो, leave it in the comments. I have not gotten a lot into the theme because कल paper है यार, है ना. तो definitely if you have any, please leave in the comments. Start करने वाले हैं last poem of class 10th ISC. This poem, this also needs a lot of detailing in a sense because there is a lot of deep meaning in these two poems, right? So आज start करेंगे Considerable Respect by Robert Frost. Robert Frost, one of a very good and a very prolific writer of his time, right? And this is a poem that requires a lot of detailing and this is very important from the board point of view as well. तो हम इसको बहुत अच्छे से बहुत बढ़िया मैनर में डाइसेक्ट करेंगे. Theme of the poem is basically reverence for the intelligent life. Reverence for intelligence in any life form. अब मेरा मतलब क्या है इससे? This poem talks about how every life form which is living has a sort of intelligence. So before harming that life form or doing anything to that life form, we must know that they also feel hurt, they also feel scared, they are also able to feel these sort of emotions, right? Speck, a very tiny insect, has been personified in this poem, and how poetic devices and how this is how it all has been used. It is a very free verse sort of a poem, so we will also dive a lot into that. अब line by line start करते हैं. These are for your understanding. See the level of detailing in the paper that tells us, yeah, this is better. See that पेपर के ग्रेन्स भी दिख रहे हैं इस फोटो में. दैट टेल्स अस दैट दिस स्पेक इटसेल्फ इज वेरी 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 स्मॉल, राइट? सो दैट वुड मेक इट easier for you to understand. A speck that would have been beneath my sight on any but a paper sheet so white, है ना? A speck जो कि मेरी नजरों में कभी आता ही नहीं. It won't even register itself unless it was on such a white sheet of paper on which I am writing. इतना छोटा सा तिनका है कि मुझे नोटिस में नहीं आता अगर वो इतनी white sheet of paper पे मेरे सामने ना होता. Set off across what I had written there. It ran over what I had written there. Set off मतलब ran, है ना? And I had idly poised my pen in air. Poised मतलब taken into position. Taken to position. Right? अगर आपको मुझे बहुत easier terms में समझाना हो तो imagine some sort of a sniper. When they are locked on their target, they get poised. मतलब एकदम स्टिलनेस आ जाती है, बहुत ज़्यादा डिमीनर और स्टैचर में एक बहुत ज़्यादा काम आ जाता है. उसे कहते हैं बीइंग पॉइज्ड. अब इसका क्या वो है, क्रक्स है इसमें. अब जो भी हमारे राइटर जी हैं उन्होंने इस स्पेक को देखा एंड दे गॉट पॉइज्ड कि अब मैं इसको मार दूंगा. आई एम गोइंग टू निब इट विथ माई पेन. तो उसको करने के लिए क्या जरूरी था? To be very still and to be very calm. Before you need to kill somebody, you need to be very gentle and calm. right? To actually execute that step. बहुत ज़्यादा ही डार्क और डिप्रेसिव बात बोली है, मुझे पता है मैंने, बट दैट इज द केस, है ना? तो टू पुट द पेन ऑन फुल स्टॉप, literally put a full stop that to that creature's life, he poised his pen. He took it, he held it, and he made sure he is poised with it, right? To stop it with a period of ink also meaning a full stop. Now this is very metaphorical in that sense where the paper is also going to have a full stop, the sentence is going to end. What else is ending? The life of the creature. The creature is going to die with that full stop as well. So he poised his pen, he planned to kill that insect in that exact moment and put a full stop to the sentence and put a full stop to the creature's life. So that is what the poet is saying. When something strange about it made me think. कुछ strange था इस बात में, लेकिन which made me think, which started which led me to my thoughts. This was no dust speck by my breathing blown, है ना? ये कोई ऐसा speck of dust नहीं है जो मैं फूक के हटा सकता हूँ, which is something of an inanimate object, right? But unmistakably a living mite. So he realized that this is a living mite, this is a living creature, that is unmistakable about it, है ना? With inclination it could call its own. Inclination, thoughts, right? Thoughts, ideas or motion, that it could call its own. Matlab, this creature is sentient, this creature feels, this creature thinks, this creature is intelligent, right? It paused as with suspicion of my pen, है ना? It paused when it saw my pen being poised. It saw that I am going to end its life and it grew suspicious about it कि अब ये आदमी क्या करने वाला है, and it stopped in that exact moment. So he is ready to take a step, a action whenever that pen came crumbling to him, and then came racing wildly all again to where my manuscript was not yet dry, है ना? फिर it started being frantic, it started panicking, and it came to the manuscript where the ink was not dry, है ना? He ran to the part of the paper where the ink is still wet, it has not dried, है ना? What did it do then? Then paused again and either drank or smelled, है ना? He paused in front of that ink. This also tells us the intelligence this creature has. He did not run into the ink where the ink, he did not run into the writing where the ink was dry. He stopped beforehand, he smelled or drank it, he tried to figure out what that was firstly, then he wanted to move forward with it. This shows that this creature is intelligent, this creature has inclinations of its own, keyword here, and this creature itself is sentient and intelligent, right? With loathing for again it turned to fly, है ना? With loathing मतलब it started loathing it, whatever the ink was, he did not like it. For again it turned around, he took a U-turn, he did not walk into that writing of ink which is not dry. He turned around and ran back, है ना? Plainly with an intelligence I dealt. Plainly, to put it plainly, I dealt with an intelligent creature. It seemed too tiny to have room for feet. It seemed too tiny. It was so small that it almost was impossible to think that it has feet. Yet must have had a set of them complete. But I am sure that he had feet of his own. It shows that he must have had feet of his own to express how much it didn't want to die, है ना? And it was expressing, by the way, when he was running around, he was being frantic about it and all of that. It showcased that this creature does not want to die. This creature wants to live, right? This creature, what it has a survival instinct. This word you can use in your answer. What this signifies? The survival instinct of this creature, right? It ran with terror and with cunning crept, है ना. It was running with terror. It was fearful of the man and cunning crept. मतलब he was very uncertain and he was seeing the man's face change and the man is cunningly creeping on him and he is going to kill him in any moment. It faltered. I could see it hesitate. It faltered. मतलब he started faltering, he started giving up, and the man could see him hesitate. He could see the hesitation in the creature, not being sure of what steps to take next. Then in the middle of the open sheet, cower down in desperation to accept what I accorded it to fate. फिर at last, then in the middle of the open sheet के एकदम बीच में आके वो फंस गया. cowered down मतलब you got fearful and he cowered matlab he started feeling cowardly in desperation, and he was so desperate for his life to be saved that he gave of all of himself in, and he said भैया जो तुम मेरे साथ करना चाहते हो कर लो. I can't do much about this situation I am in because a human is such a large creature and this is such a small speck, right? So he cannot physically save himself from you, right? ऐसा बहुत बार होता है कि जब हम गलत भी नहीं होते हैं बट हम उस गलती को एक्सेप्ट कर लेते हैं. क्यों कर लेते हैं? वी अकॉर्ड इट टू फेट. वी लेट द फेट ऑफ आवर ओन डिसाइड व्हाट इज बेस्ट फॉर अस. कभी कभी हम लोग ये चीज करते हैं. क्यों करते हैं? बिकॉज मे बी द पोजिशन वी आर इन इट इज मच 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 लार्जर दैन what little of ego or what little of survival we as humans do feel. So that happens. This is similar to that. I have none of, this is an important phrase. I have none of the tender than thou, holier than thou, collectivistic regimenting love with which the modern world is being swept. अब ये बहुत भारी इंग्लिश है सबके लिए, तो मैं इसको बहुत डिटेल में समझाता हूं कहना क्या चाह रहा है. मेरे अंदर ऐसा कुछ नहीं है टेंडर देन दाओ. मतलब आई एम बेटर दैन यू मॉरली, राइट. मेरे अंदर कोई ऐसे इंस्टिंक्ट नहीं है जो यूजुअली ह्यूमंस में होते हैं. आई एम बेटर देन यू मॉरली. आई एम मोर कंपैशनेट. आई फील बेटर. आई फील फॉर क्रीचर्स मोर देन यू. The poet does not have that, right? Collectivistic मतलब grouping, regimenting मतलब rigid, है ना. Love. अब क्या कह रहा है कि मेरे अंदर वो जो एक हर्ड मेंटालिटी नहीं होती कि सब कंपैशनेट बन रहे हैं तो हम भी कंपैशनेट बनेंगे, एंड इट सीम्स रिजिड. इट इज वेरी रिजिड and I don't have that love in me. I don't feel morally superior than anybody. I don't have that sense of tenderer than thou. I do not have that collectivistic regimenting love. Why? Because this is all of the modern propaganda and agendas that are being pushed, the narrative of the modern society which is coming in. I don't have that in me, right? With which the modern world is being swept with, जिसको modern world बहुत अच्छे से अपना रहा है, बहुत अच्छे से accept कर रहा है, और the modern world is basically head over heels for this motion, this movement, right? I don't have any of it in me. That is what the poet is saying. But this poor microscopic item now, since it was nothing I knew evil of, I let it lie there till I hope it slept. I have a mind myself and recognize mine when I meet with it in any guise. No one can know how glad I am to find on any sheet that the least display of mine, right? So this poor microscopic item now, matlab the speck itself, since it was nothing I knew evil of, since I know it has not done anything bad to me or anybody, he is just existing, he is just living, I let it lie there till I hope it slept. And I let it be. I left it in the place it wanted to be. I did not do anything to it. I left it there till I hope it finally did sleep, right? I do have a mind myself and I recognize mind when I meet it in any guise. मेरे पास भी एक दिमाग है, मैं भी सोच सकता हूँ, बोल सकता हूँ, महसूस कर सकता हूँ, और मैं उस चीज को समझता हूँ जब मैं सामने उस चीज को अपने देखता हूँ. नो वन कैन नो हाउ ग्लैड आई एम टू फाइंड ऑन एनी शीट दैट least display of mind. Nobody can tell me otherwise, and I know myself how moved I am when I see the littlest of display of intellect. That is all. Right. So this poem talks about the reverence of intelligence. As I said in the start, reverence of intelligence means respect for intelligence. The poet is moved by the intelligence of the creature, not by anything else. The poet would have killed the creature in an instant if he wanted to, but he did not, because he saw a great display of intelligence in that creature. So that is the premise of the poem. I hope I have done justice to it. If you do have any further doubts, questions, or queries, I definitely want them in the comments. Okay, so now we are going to begin with the story The Pedestrian, written by Ray Bradbury. This is a story set in the year 2053, and the main theme of this story is how we have gotten so drunk over technology, and technology has overridden our human side of things, and technology has completely encaged us, and it has completely killed the human element of what a human is, right? It deals with the idea of conformity, and it deals with the idea of loss of individuality as well, है ना? There is no individual autonomy left. All of the city is run by artificial intelligence and all of that, and how it has become a detriment to us, where a human can't feel emotions safely and freely, and is marked and has been under surveillance, and the authorities being vigilant about it. It showcases the lack of freedom that is present. So we are going to begin line by line. I think intro अच्छा लगा आपको इसका. I'm trying to keep it very precise for you क्योंकि तुम्हारा कल पेपर है अब. So yeah, let's begin. To enter out into that silence that was the city at 8 o'clock of a misty evening November. To enter, है ना? So he is saying to enter, but where do you enter? You enter a place. He is stepping outside. So he should say that I am going outside, but he says to enter. This showcases that how excited he is to go out. To enter out into that silence that was the city at 8 o'clock of a misty evening November. Evening in November. So this is the time of November, and he is moving out side, right? To put your feet upon that buckling concrete walk, है ना? So there was a concrete walk which was present there. To step over grassy seams, देर वर सीम्स इन. आपने अगर देखा हो तो साइड वॉक में अगर टाइल्स होते हैं तो बीच बीच में से ग्रास उगाती है, तो ग्रासी सीम्स. एंड मेक योर वे हैंड्स इन पॉकेट थ्रू द साइलेंसेस, एंड योर हैंड्स इन योर पॉकेट एंड मेक थ्रू द वे इन दैट साइलेंस, राइट? रात में अगर कोई वॉक पे गया होगा बच्चा तो दे वुड रियलाइज हाउ इट इज नाइस एंड ब्यूटिफुल टू वॉक इन साइलेंस. दैट वॉज वॉट मिस्टर लियोनार्ड मीड वॉज most dearly loved to do. So this man, he's the main character of our story, and that is the most lovable time that this man had. He would stand up the corner of an intersection. He would stand up in a corner of an intersection and peer down moonlight avenues of sidewalk, and peer down long moonlit avenues of the sidewalk on in 4 directions. So imagine a person going here and he's walking and walking and walking, right? It is moonlit because there is a moon present. इसमें नहीं है, मैंने बना दिया, and the moon's light is shining on it, right? So that is what they are trying to convey. Deciding which way to go, deciding कि किस तरफ जाना है ना. You are here, you are standing here. अब समझ नहीं आ रहा. If you are strolling aimlessly, तो इधर जाना चाहिए या फिर इधर जाना चाहिए, दैट इज व्हाट द केस इज, है ना. But in reality, it made no difference. He was alone in this world of AD 2053. है ना. He was alone because nobody used to move out at that point at that time. Or as good as alone, and with a final decision made, a path selected, he would stride off. और फिर वो decision बनाता था और अपना पाथ ढूंढ के आगे बढ़ जाता था. Sending patterns of frosty air before him like smoke of a cigar. है ना. Patterns of frosty air, ठंड की टराती तो there used to be a lot of fog. So that felt like a smoke of a cigar. It was so soothing. Sometimes he would walk for hours. Sometimes what would happen? He would walk for hours and miles and return only at midnight to his house. ऐसा हो जाता था कि आधी रात को भी भाई साहब घर लौटते थे. He loved to walk that much in the night. And on his way he would see the cottages and homes with their dark windows, and it was not unequal to walking through a graveyard where only the faintest glimmers of firefly light appeared in flickers behind the windows. है ना. ये cottages और homes तो थे but उनकी windows dark थी, and it was unequal to walking through a graveyard. Why? Because individuality is dead. Individuality is dead, quite literally. So when these people, when he used to move out, what would happen is he would feel that he was walking in a graveyard. People are sleeping by that time, and there was no light, there was no sound. Glimmers of firefly light could appear. If there were fireflies, बहुत छोटी छोटी tinkering lights होती थी behind these windows. Sudden grey phantoms seemed to manifest upon inner room walls where a curtain was still undrawn against the night. है ना. Grey phantoms is referring to humans, but they are so transformed, or you can say molded and brainwashed, that they are like a phantom, like a ghost. They are mentally dead, these people. So that is why he is referring to them as grey phantom. Seem to manifest upon inner room walls. जब curtains नहीं होते थे और window खुली होती थी, he used to see these. Or there were whispering and murmurs where a window in a tomb-like building was still open. है ना. एंड यहाँ पे मर्मर्स और विस्परिंग भी सुनाई देती थी अगर खिड़की खुली होती थी. इन अ टूम लाइक बिल्डिंग, अगर आपने एक टूम देखा होगा तो अ पर्सन रेस्ट देयर फॉर इटर्निटी. तो एक तरीके से वो इनकैप्सुलेट करने की कोशिश की गई है कि अब वो आदमी उस कैद से कभी जिंदगी में बाहर नहीं आने वाला है. मिस्टर लियोनार्ड मीड वुड पॉज, कॉक हिज हेड, लिसन, लॉक एंड मार्च ऑन. थोड़ी देर रुकते थे, ऐसे मुंडी हिलाते थे, सुनते थे और आगे बढ़ जाते थे. His feet making no noise on the lumpy walk. His feet never used to make any noise on that lumpy walk. For long ago he had wisely changed to sneakers when strolling at night. Because he used to wear sneakers because क्योंकि surveillance बहुत है ना. If he gets caught, he can get arrested. Because the dogs in intermittent squads would parallel his journey with barkings if he wore hard heels. है ना. तो ये सर्वेलेंस डॉग्स जो थे वो बहुत ज़्यादा प्रेजेंट थे यहाँ पे इंटरमिटेंट स्क्वाड्स के. एंड वो हार्ड हील्स वाले अगर जूते पहन के निकलते थे तो दे वुड स्टार्ट बार्किंग. सो दैट इज वाई ही शिफ्टेड टू स्नीकर्स. Lights might click on and faces appear, and entire street be startled by the passing of a lone figure himself in the early November evening. है ना. तो लोग क्या होते थे, अगर वो भौंकना सुनते थे तो देखते थे खिड़कियां खोल के, लाइट्स मार के, फ्लिक करके, फ्लैश लाइट्स, तो देखते थे कि एक लोन फिगर जा रहा है. एंड दे यूज्ड टू गेट अमेज्ड एंड शॉक्ड कि इतनी रात में कौन है जो एकदम खिलाफत में निकल गया है. In the early November evening, on this particular evening, he began his journey in a westerly direction. So he was going towards the west this time, towards the hidden sea, towards the sea which is hidden. There was a good crystal frost in the air. The frost was present in the air. It was crystal. It cut the nose and made the lungs blaze like a Christmas tree inside. So इतना ठंडी हवा थी कि जिसको अगर आप इनहेल कर रहे थे तो it would hurt your throat and neck. That is the cold that is there, like a Christmas tree inside you. It was so sharp that it would feel like a Christmas tree. You could feel the cold light going on and off. So you can feel the cold going on and off. All the branches filled with invisible snow. The branches are also now filled with invisible snow. He listened to the faint push of his soft shoes through autumn leaves with satisfaction. Now, when he was walking, so his soft shoes were crushing the autumn leaves and he was listening to it with satisfaction. Crunchy leaves crush करो तो बहुत अच्छा sound आता है. That is what is being referred to. And whistled a cold, quiet whistle, and he was whistling very slowly and quietly between his teeth. Occasionally picking up a leaf. चलते चलते लड़कों की आदत ये ज़्यादा होती है कि पत्ती उठा ली, उससे खेल रहे हैं. Examining its skeletal pattern and in the infrequent lamp lights as he went on, है ना. और infrequent जो lamp lights हैं उनमें उसका पैटर्न एग्जामिन करके धीरे धीरे ही वॉज मूविंग ऑन. जैसे पत्ती उठाई, ऐसे देखा लैंप में कि अच्छा ये उसमें पैटर्न है और आगे बढ़ गए. इफ ही क्लोज हिज आईज एंड स्टूड वेरी स्टिल फ्रोजन, he could imagine himself upon a center of a plain wintry windless Arizona desert. So अगर वो एक जगह खड़ा हो जाता और अपनी आंखें बंद कर लेता तो he would be able to imagine a windless and very cold desert of Arizona with no house in 1,000 miles and only a dry river beds and dry river beds, the streets for company, है ना. So what he could do was stand there, close his eyes, he would imagine the great Arizona desert. And what will happen? There are no homes there in the thousands of miles. The river beds are dry and the streets are there for company. What is it now? He has the houses, noticing his wristwatch. Light 8:30 p.m. Time for a dozen assorted murders, a quiz, a review, a comedian falling off the stage. Was that a murmur of a laughter within a moon white house? So it was 8:30 p.m. है ना. He noticed the time. He heard something from a house. He noticed the time on his wristwatch. It was 8:30. So was he thinking? He was thinking क्या किसी का मर्डर हो रहा है? That was the first thought because इतनी रात में usually सही में कोई नहीं निकलता था. Or is it a quiz? Is it a review? A comedian falling off the stage. Is it a comedian that is falling off the stage? Was that a murmur of a laughter from within a moon white house? So this house is completely white and did I hear some laughing from there? He hesitated but went on. When nothing more happened, he stumbled over a particularly uneven section of the sidewalk. है ना. He was walking, then he found an uneven section of a sidewalk. He heard it but he did not pay attention to it. The cement was vanishing under flower and grass. So the cement was vanishing. That was not maintained well, the sidewalk. So the cement was vanishing and he could see flower and grass. In 10 years of walking by night or day, for thousands of miles, he had never met another person walking. Not once in all that time. इतने सालों से वो रात में निकल रहा है अकेले वॉक पे, पर उसने कभी किसी इंसान को इतनी रात में वॉक पे निकलते नहीं देखा. इन दैट टाइम ही केम टू अ क्लोवर लीफ इंटरसेक्शन विच स्टूड साइलेंट वेयर टू मेन हाईवेज क्रॉस्ड द टाउन. ड्यूरिंग द डे इट वाज अ थंडरस सर्ज ऑफ कार्स, है ना. तो एक क्लोवर लीफ इंटरसेक्शन पे पहुंचे भाई साहब और वहां खड़े हो गए जहां पे मेन 2 हाईवेज थे, शहर के जा रहे थे, क्रॉस द टाउन. ड्यूरिंग द डे, अब दोपहर के टाइम क्या होता था? It was thunderous. It had so many cars that when they honked, it used to sound thunderous. And it was completely filled with cars. The gas stations open and the gas stations were open. A great insect rustling and a ceaseless jockeying for position as the scarab. है ना. A great insect rustling and a ceaselessly jockeying around for possession as the scarab, right? Beetles, a faint incense puttering from their exhaust, skimmed homeward to the far direction. But now these highways too were like streams in a dry season. So this is how he's referring to the traffic, है ना? A faint incense sputtering from their exhaust. Skimmed homeward to the far direction. They are going to far directions and they are acting like insects. There were so many of them that it felt like there were insects. But now these highways too were like streams in a dry season. But these highways too were now feeling like a river which was dry in the dry season. All stone and bed and moon radiance. All filled with stone and riverbed and with moon radiance. He turned back on a side street, circling around towards his home. So what happened was, he started circling around towards his home. He was within a block of his destination when the lone car turned a corner quite suddenly and flashed a fierce white cone of light upon him. है ना? अब क्या हुआ, यहाँ से मेन स्टोरी जो है पिकअप कर रही है. एक कार पास करती है with flashing white light, they flashed him with white light and with a very fierce way that it happened. It was very fierce. And he stood, उसने वो दरवाजे पे खड़ा हो गया, not unlike a night moth stunned by the illumination, and he started standing at the entrance of it, not like a night moth, but he was stunned by the illumination. And then drawn toward it, a metallic voice called him. So this is a robot. This is a robot. Meaning that this is a robotic police car. And then drawn toward it, a metallic voice called him. Stand still, stay where you are, don't move. जहाँ खड़े हो वहीं खड़े रहो. Don't move and stand still. He halted. He stopped. Put up your hands. अपने हाथ ऊपर कर लो. But he said, but the police car won't listen. Your hands up or we'll shoot. हाथ ऊपर वरना गोली मार देंगे. He was just walking by and this is the reaction he got from that police car. The police, of course, but what a rare, incredible thing in a city of 3 million. है ना? ये पुलिस थी, of course, but कितनी rare sight है in the city of 3 million people. There was only one police car left, wasn't that correct? Ever since a year ago, 2052, the election year, the force had been cut down from 3 cars to 1. Crime was ebbing. There was no need now for the police, save for this one lone car wandering the empty street. So there were 3 million people in the city, and the city is so large, but there is no crime in the city because पूरी mental conditioning of society complete हो चुकी है. This is what the prose is trying to tell us. What will happen if a society is completely brainwashed? है ना? So एक पुलिस कार बची है. पिछले साल तक 3 थी, 2 खत्म हो गई क्योंकि द इलेक्शन ईयर में जरूरत लगी नहीं, तो they were cut down to 1. Crime was ebbing. Crime was so low that there was no need for police anymore, save for this one lone car कि कभी जरूरत आन पड़ी, है ना, which wandered the empty streets. Your name, said the police. पुलिस ने पूछा नाम क्या है. Metallic whisper में, he couldn't see the men in it for the bright light in his eyes. He could not see any men in it because the lights were so bright. Leonard Mead, he said. He told them his name. Speak up. So they could not hear him in a whispered voice. So they asked him to speak up. So he said, Leonard Mead, business or profession? I guess you'll call me a writer. So they asked, what is your business or profession? He said, I am a writer. So they said no profession. मतलब being a writer at this time is considered that you don't have a profession, said the police car, as if talking to itself, as if it is talking to itself. The light held him fixed like a museum specimen needle thrust through chest. है ना? अगर किसी म्यूजियम के स्पेसिमेन को रोक के रखना होता है तो उसके एक पतली सी सुई आर पार कर देते हैं ताकि वो निकल ना पाए. तो वही तरीके से लाइट ने हमारे मेन कैरेक्टर को रोक रखा है. यू माइट से दैट, है ना? यू माइट से दैट ही सेड मिस्टर मीड, ही हैडंट रिटन इन ईयर्स. और उसने वैसे भी बहुत सालों से कुछ लिखा नहीं था. But the important thing to notice is that this police car does not recognize writing as a profession because it is very human in nature. मैगजीन्स एंड बुक्स डिडंट सेल एनी मोर. यहाँ पे मैगजीन और बुक्स बिकना बंद हो गई थी. एवरीथिंग वेंट ऑन इन द टूम लाइक हाउसेज एट नाइट नाउ. He thought continuing his fancy, the tombs ill lit by television light where the people sat like the dead, the grey or multicolored lights touching their faces but never really touching them. तो हुआ क्या कि अब लोग अपने घर में कन्फाइन हो गए थे. यूज दिस वर्ड इन योर आंसर्स. दे वर कन्फाइंड टू देयर हाउसेज एट नाइट. ही थॉट कंटिन्यूइंग हिज फैंसी मतलब राइटिंग his profession is no point, there is no point because books and magazines have stopped selling. The tombs, they were ill lit by what? Television light. मतलब TV देखते थे ये लोग. They used to watch television where the people sat like dead. People sat as though they were dead. The grey or multicolored light which came from the TV was touching their faces. मतलब it was illuminating the faces, but it was not really touching them from within. It was not touching their hearts. Because all of it was gone and all of it was dead. No profession, said the phonograph voice. है ना? No profession, said the phonograph voice, hissing. What are you doing out? अब क्या कर रहे हो तुम इतनी रात में बाहर? It asked. Walking, said Leonard Mead. He said, I was walking. Walking, just walking. है ना? He said, walking, just walking. He said simply, but his face felt cold. But he started to feel anxious now. Walking, just walking, walking. है ना? Walking. I was just walking, walking. Yes, sir. Walking where? For what? Walking for air. Walking to sea. क्यों चल रहे थे? क्या किस काम के लिए चल रहे थे? Walking for air. हवा के लिए निकला था. Walking to sea. और जमाना देखने निकला था. Your address कहाँ रहते हो? 11 South Saint James Street. यहाँ रहता हूँ. And there is air in your house. You have an air conditioner, Mr. Mead. क्या तुम्हारे घर में हवा नहीं है? क्या तुम एयर कंडीशनर में नहीं रहते हो? ये वही वाला डायलॉग जो टीचर्स कह देते हैं, होमवर्क कहाँ है, नहीं लाए, भूल गए, खाना खाना भी भूल जाते हो. समथिंग सिमिलर टू दैट बट इट ऑल्सो टेल्स अस कि कितना ज़्यादा इनह्यूमेन है सब कुछ. एंड यू हैव अ व्यूइंग स्क्रीन इन योर हाउस टू सी विथ. और तुम्हारे पास घर में एक टीवी है जिसपे तुम देख सकते हो. यस. So he said, no, this time he went, no, there was a crackling quiet that in itself was an accusation. So it went quiet, it felt like it is accusing the person that TV नहीं है तुम्हारे पास, type of a way. Are you married, Mr. Mead? क्या तुम्हारी शादी हो चुकी है? He replied, no. Not married, said the police voice behind the fiery beam. The moon was high and clear among the stars and the houses were grey and silent. Nobody wanted me, said Leonard Mead. है ना? तो he said कि the moon was high and clear among the stars, the houses were grey. तो moon light की वजह से क्या लग रहा था? Houses were grey. और जो stars हैं उनकी moon एकदम अपने टाइम पे वर्चस्व था उस टाइम पे, तो it was clear in the stars. Nobody wanted me, he told the car. said Leonard Mead with a smile. He smiled and said, मुझे कोई नहीं चाहता है इसलिए. Don't speak unless you are spoken to. कुछ मत बोलो अगर तुमसे बात नहीं हो रही है. So you can see the authoritarianism brought into the story with this car. Leonard Mead waited the cold night, just walking, Mr. Mead. Just walking, Mr. Mead. The car asked once again. And he was waiting in the cold night. He said yes. But you haven't explained for what purpose. But तुमने अभी तक बताया नहीं है कि किस लिए. I explained for air and to see and just to walk. Have you done this often? Every night for years. तो वो पूछता है क्या तुम ये जरूर करते रहते हो? हाँ, सालों से. The police car sat in the center of the street with its radio throat faintly humming. Well, Mr. Mead, वो एकदम center of the street में खड़ी थी कार, with its radio throat faintly humming. This is personification. Well, Mr. Mead, the car said. It said, is that all? He asked politely. Is that all that you are doing? Mr. Mead said, yes, said the voice. Here, there was a sigh, a pop at the back of the door, car sprang wide. है ना, here इधर आओ, there was a sigh, then there was a pop, the back door of the police car sprang wide, it opened, get in, आओ बैठो. Wait a minute, I haven't done anything, get in. It asked him to sit inside the car. He said, I have not done anything, but he said, no, get in. I protest, I rebel against you, I won't sit because I have not done anything wrong. He walked like a man suddenly drunk. He started walking like a man who was suddenly drunk. As he passed the front window of the car, he looked in. As he had expected, there was no one in front seat. No one in the car at all. Get in. He put his hand to the door and peered into the back seat, which was a little cold. This is a line that tells us that there was a sort of hypnosis that happened. है ना? Because a man does not start walking suddenly like a drunk person. He saw, maybe with the leftover consciousness that he had, that there was no one inside it as he expected. And he sat in the car, which was like a little jail cell, a little black jail with bars. It smelled of reverted steel. It smelled like steel. It smelled of harsh antiseptic. It smelled too clean and hard to be hard and metallic. There was nothing soft there. Now, if you had a wife to give you an alibi, said the iron voice. But where are you taking me? The car hesitated, or rather gave a point-bearing click, as if information somewhere. तो कार की जो स्मेल थी बहुत ज़्यादा हार्श और क्लीन थी, एक यूटोपियन सोसाइटी बेसिक स्टफ. इट स्मेल टू क्लीन एंड हार्ड एंड मेटालिक. देयर वाज नथिंग सॉफ्ट इन इट, देयर वाज नथिंग गुड इन इट. अगर तुम्हारी एक बीवी होती तो इट वुड हैव गिवन यू एन alibi. जो आयरन वॉइस थी उसने बोला, पर इट सेड बट वेयर आर यू टेकिंग मी, बट मुझे लेके कहाँ जा रहे हो. The car hesitated, or rather gave a faint whirring click. The car now hesitated and it gave a whirring click to that person. As the information somewhere was dropping card by punch slotted card under electric eyes. है ना, ऐसा लग रहा था कि जो इन्फॉर्मेशन था वो एक कार्ड से, जो कि पंच स्लॉटेड कार्ड होता है, उससे होके आ रही है अंडर इलेक्ट्रिक आइज, अंडर द आइज ऑफ this robot, to the psychiatric center for research on regressive tendencies. कहाँ लेके जा रहे हैं? Psychiatric center for regressive tendencies. So the humans in this story have been conditioned to a point where if you are walking in night, you are going to be taken to an asylum. He got in, the door shut with a soft thud. The police car rolled through the night avenues, flashing its dim lights ahead. They passed one house on the street. A moment later, one house in an entire city of houses that were dark. So they kept going on. Finally, they might have reached the place, Psychiatric Center for Research on Regressive Tendencies. But this one particular house had all its electric lights brightly lit, every window a light yellow emanation, square and warm in the cool. That's my house, said Leonard Mead. No one answered him. The car moved down the empty riverbed streets and off away, leaving the empty streets with the empty sidewalks and no sound and no motion all the rest of the chill November night. Even जो लियोनार्ड मीड का घर था, it was also very brightly lit. He said कि ये है मेरा घर, but the car did not listen to it and they kept on going. And finally they must have reached Mead's house. They must have taken Mead to the asylum, and that is how the story ends. So this tells us that technological independence is necessary and dependence is okay, but to a certain extent. And conformity is not a way that you should live with. And I think I have done justice to this. If you do have any question, queries or doubts, leave it in the comments. So hello everybody, आज हम start करने वाले हैं with the photographer. अब this is a prose in your syllabus जो कि first और second होना चाहिए, bites virtue जो आपको पढ़ना चाहिए actual में, but we started with poems, now we are starting with this prose. This is a prose that deals with the concept of insecurity. insecurity and public perception. So that is the crux of this prose itself. These are the themes of this prose itself by its virtue, and this is written by Stephen Leacock. And जो थोड़ा premise अगर मुझे देना हो कि it was written at a time when cameras were very newly introduced. उससे पहले handmade paintings used to be the only way that you could get a self-portrait done. So when this came into existence, a camera is not very in a way nice with you when it comes to your blemishes, your spots, your imperfections. However, if you get it made by a painter, the painter, to get more business, will not do that injustice, he will not do the justice to you in a way, right? He will not take up your imperfections in his art, and he will not do any such sort of thing. But a camera, when you are in front of a camera, जैसे मेरी नाक पे अभी एक बहुत गंदा सा पिंपल आया हुआ है, तो आप लोगों को बहुत easily visible होगा वो, है ना? So a camera is very unforgiving in that sense, and our main character deals with it in a way that showcases his insecurity. It highlights the level of insecurity felt by the individual. तो फटाफट स्टार्ट करते हैं with the line by line explanation. I want my photograph taken, I said. The photographer looked at me without enthusiasm, है ना? So this person wants to get a photograph taken of himself. He walks into a booth or a parlor for photographs, and he asks for one made him for himself. Looked at me without enthusiasm, है ना? So the person who clicks the photo, he might have been fed up with this kind of response anyways, so he was not very enthusiastic for it. He was a drooping man in a grey suit. He was a man who was drooping, something like this person. A face which is drooping, a face which is always looking negative in a way. He was wearing a grey suit with the dim eye of a natural scientist. And his eyes looked very dim, as though he was a scientist, a natural scientist, right? But there is no need to describe him. But उसको describe करने को हम लोगों की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Although the description is completely given by the person who is entering the photo booth. Everybody knows what a photographer looks like. सबको पता है कि एक photographer कैसा लगता है. How does he look? Sit there, he said, and wait. अगर आप लोग कभी अपनी पासपोर्ट साइज फोटो के लिए गए होगे तो आपने देखा होगा वेरी स्टर्न टाइप ऑफ अ पर्सन इज प्रेजेंट देयर, एंड वेरी स्टर्न टाइप ऑफ अ टिपिकल लुक दैट ही विल गिव यू. I waited an hour. I waited for an entire hour to get my photo made. तो देखिए कितनी भीड़ है और कितना ज्यादा क्या कहते हैं इस टाइम पे वो है क्रेज है कि अपनी फोटो खिंचवाई जाए. I read the Ladies Companion for 1912. This is a magazine basically. The Girls Magazine for 1902. है ना, Girls Magazine पढ़ी 1902 की, and the Infants Journal for 1888. Now this gives us a description about this is somewhere after 1912, right? When cameras were introduced, I began to see that I had done an unwarrantable thing in breaking in on the privacy of this man's scientific pursuits with the face of mine, है ना. So अब मुझे ऐसा लगने लगा कि I have done something very bad, unwarrantable, unforgivable thing in breaking in on the privacy of this man's scientific pursuit with a face like mine, है ना. So it was his pursuit to completely depict the person as the person is, and I have breaken in his privacy. After an hour, the photographer opened the inner door. Now the photographer opened the door. Come in, he said severely. है ना, he said come in, अंदर आओ, है ना. तो he went, I went into the studio. Sit down, said the photographer. Photographer ने कहा बैठ जाओ भाई, तो बैठ गए. I sat down in a beam of sunlight filtered through a sheet of factory cotton hung against a frosted skylight. This is the sort of this is the sort of description that you need. एंड दिस इज द फोटो दैट डज जस्टिस टू व्हाट दिस मैन इज सेइंग. आपने देखा होगा एक बड़ी सी लाइट होगी, उसके पीछे एक वाइट कलर का एकदम कॉटन का पर्दा होगा, है ना, ऑल ऑफ दैट इज देयर. फ्रॉस्टेड स्काईलाइट मतलब इट इज द ग्लास इज फ्रॉस्टेड, सो when the light shines on you it is not harsh but it is very vibrant. The photographer rolled a machine into the middle of the room and crawled into it from behind, है ना. This is a camera, this is an ancient camera, not ancient but ancient in the terms of technology. The photographer rolled a machine into the middle and crawled behind it. आपने कार्टून्स में देखा होगा कि वो वाले जो कैमराज होते हैं उसके अंदर ऐसे आदमी चला जाता है पूरा, तो वही चीज फोटोग्राफर ने की. He was only in it a second, just time enough for one look at me, and then he was out again, tearing at the cotton sheet and the window panes with a hooked stick, apparently frantic for light. है ना, वो बस एक सेकंड के लिए गया था अंदर, just time enough for one look at me, एक बार मेरी शक्ल दिख जाए, and then he was out again, और फिर से वो बाहर आया, tearing at the cotton sheet, वो cotton sheet फाड़ने लगा, and the window panes विथ अ हुक्ड स्टिक. अब एक विंडो पेन थी उसको भी एक हुक्ड स्टिक से खोलने लगा. अपेरेंटली फ्रैंटिक, ही वॉज वेरी जिटरी फॉर लाइट एंड एयर, ताकि कमरे में हवा और रोशनी आ सके. देन ही क्रॉल्ड बैक इनटू द मशीन अगेन एंड ड्रू अ लिटिल ब्लैक क्लॉथ ओवर हिमसेल्फ. और फिर से वो उस मशीन के अंदर गया और अपने ऊपर एक ब्लैक क्लॉथ उसने डाल लिया. This time he was very quiet in there. अब इस बार बहुत चुपचाप वो अपना कुछ ना कुछ कर रहा था उसके अंदर. He did not come out instantly. I knew that he was praying and I kept still. I knew that he was praying. This signifies that profession is worship, basically. Worship. So he was there inside and he was not coming out. When the photographer came out at last, he looked very grave and shook his head. The face is quite wrong, है ना. तो फोटोग्राफर जो था वो बहुत देर बाद आया and he looked very serious and shook. The face is quite wrong. तुम्हारा चेहरा काफी गलत है. I know, I answered quietly. I have always known it. तो if you are insecure about your face and somebody comes out and says that तुम्हारा चेहरा बहुत गलत है भाई, बहुत बुरा लगेगा किसी भी इंसान के लिए, even if it is coming from a photographer and especially from a photographer. You know that his opinion is logical. He is not saying it out of the hate of it. He is saying it because it is true, and that makes it that much worse. So the person in question said, I know, I have always known it. मुझे हमेशा से पता है. He sighed, है ना, and he took a deep sigh. I think he said the face would be better 3/4 full. He said the face would be better if it was 3/4 full. I am sure it would, है ना. The person then said, I am sure that it would. Said enthusiastically, for I was glad to find that the man had such a human side to him, and I was glad that he actually is trying to do something nice for me, and that shows that he is a human at his core. So would yours in fact, I continued, so would yours in fact, हाँ तुम्हारा चेहरा भी भाई 3/4 full में ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा, है ना. Should not have said it. In fact, I continued, how many faces one sees that are apparently hard, narrow, limited, but the minute you get them 3/4 full, they get wide, large and almost boundless in, है ना. So the person in question started saying, how many faces one sees that are apparently hard, they are narrow, they are limited, but the minute you get them 3/4 full, they get wide, large and almost boundless in. यहाँ पे बात कट गई हमारे उसकी narrator की, and this person is trying to show his excitement. He is really enthusiastic right now because now he thinks the photo will come out actually looking very nice, and that is why he is acting in such a way. But the photographer had ceased to listen. जो photographer था उसने सुनना छोड़ दिया था. He came over and took my head in his hand and twisted it sideways. The photographer came and twisted his head sideways. I thought he meant to kiss me and I closed my eyes. है ना. मुझे ऐसा लगा कि ही इज ट्राइंग टू किस मी, बट आई क्लोज माई आईज. A bit of humor here, but I was wrong, and I was wrong. He twisted my face as far as it would go and then stood looking at it. उसने मेरा चेहरा टेढ़ा किया और जितना टेढ़ा हो सकता था उतना टेढ़ा करके मेरी शक्ल निहारने लगा. He sighed again, है ना. He took a sigh again. I don't like the head, he said. मुझे ये सर नहीं पसंद है तुम्हारा. I don't like your head. फिर से एक derogatory remark by the photographer, and you know he is being honest because he is a photographer. He does not care. Then he went back to the machine and took another look. Open the mouth a little, he said. I started to do so. Close it, he added quickly. है ना, थोड़ा सा मुंह खोलो. जैसे ही उसने मुंह खोला कहने लगा बंद कर दो. Then he looked again. Then he looked again. फिर से उसने कैमरे के अंदर देखा. The ears are bad, he said. Droop them a little more. तुम्हारे कान भी खराब हैं, उनको थोड़ा सा ज्यादा ड्रूप करो. थैंक यू. नाउ द आईज, रोल देम इन अंडर द लिड्स, है ना. अब आंखें सही करो, उनको अपनी लिड्स के अंदर थोड़ा सा रोल करो. पुट द हैंड ऑन द नी प्लीज, एंड पुट द हैंड ऑन योर नीज प्लीज, एंड टर्न द फेस जस्ट अ लिटिल अपवर्ड्स. और थोड़ा सा चेहरा अपना उठाओ. Yes, that's better. Now just expand the lungs so and hump the neck. That's it. है ना. फिर से बोला कि अब थोड़ी सी सांस भरो और अपना नेक को हम्प करो. Yeah, that is it. And just contract the waist. हल्का सा अपनी कमर को सिकोड़ लो. हाँ. And twist the hip up toward the elbow. और अपना जो हिप है वो अपनी एल्बो की तरफ ट्विस्ट करो. Now, I still don't quite like the face. It's just a trifle too full, but है ना. So he is cut now. Now the photographer is cut. अब आप लोगों के दोस्तों ने जब भी आपकी फोटोज ली होंगी, खींची होंगी, तो they would have given you instructions, but they won't have meant it in a negative way. But there is no sense of emotion coming from the photographer. So the person in question, the narrator, is feeling insecure and vulnerable in this position because he's being told to do exactly how the photographer asks, and he is not able to be himself freely as well, है ना. और इतने सारे इंस्ट्रक्शंस और इतने सारे फीचर्स पे नेगेटिविटी अ पर्सन वुड नॉट बी एबल टू टेक अबाउट देमसेल्फ. आई swung myself on the stool, है ना. फिर ही सेड, मैंने अपने आप को उछाल लिया. आई swung myself on the stool and I said stop. I said with emotion but I think with dignity, है ना. I said stop. I said that with emotion but मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि उसमें डिग्निटी ज्यादा थी. This face is my face. It is not yours. It is mine. I have lived with it for 40 years and I know its fault. I know it's out of drawing, है ना. मुझे पता है मैं इस फेस के साथ 40 साल से जी रहा हूँ. So this also tells us the age of the narrator, that he is 40 years old. I know क्या कमियां खराबियां हैं इस चेहरे में, and I know it's out of drawing. और ये क्या कहते हैं, काबिल तारीफ है कि इसकी जो भी वो है इमेज कोई सही से निकाल सके. I know it wasn't made for me, but it's my face, the only one I have. I know it, ये मेरा चेहरा मेरे लिए नहीं बना था, from what I am within, but ये मेरा चेहरा है, the only one I have. और ये वही चेहरा है जो सिर्फ मेरे पास है और इसके अलावा मेरे पास और कोई चेहरा होगा भी नहीं कभी. I was conscious of a break in my voice, but I went on such as it, है ना. Now the poet, the narrator was also conscious कि उसकी आवाज में stammering ना होने लगे. When you are being emotional, you start to stammer. When you are emotional, your tears come and your voice breaks a little. That was what made the narrator conscious. Such as it is, I've learned to love it. जैसा है मैं इससे प्यार करता हूँ. I love my face and this is my mouth, not yours. और ये मेरा मुंह है और तुम्हारा मुंह नहीं है. These ears are mine. ये कान मेरे हैं. And if your machines is too narrow, here I started to rise from the seat, है ना. और हो सकता है कि तुम्हारी मशीन बहुत ज़्यादा नैरो है. और वो क्या कहते हैं, जो आदमी है वो खड़ा हो गया. Snick, the photographer had pulled a string. The photograph taken, है ना. The photographer ने क्या किया, एक फोटो ले ली. एक आवाज आई स्निक से, है ना. As he was rising up, he was cut in between by that snick sound. क्योंकि फोटोग्राफर ने फोटो ले ली थी. The photograph was taken. I could see the machine still staggering from the shock. है ना, जो मशीन थी, इट वॉज स्टिल स्टैगरिंग फ्रॉम द शॉक. I think, said the photographer, pursing his lips in a pleased smile, that I caught the features just in a moment of animation. हो सकता है कि मैंने जो इमेज ली है, I caught it in the moment of animation, मतलब हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, कैंडिड फोटो ले ली, है ना. बहुत सिंपली समझाना हो इस लाइन को तो he took a candid photo of this person while he was angry. So I said bitingly, है ना. अब कोई आदमी, आप गुस्सा आ रहे हो और उसने आपको इतना इंस्ट्रक्ट किया है कि ये करो वो करो, आप गुस्सा के मुझे नहीं खिंचवानी है फोटो भाई, और उसमें फोटो ले दे तो रेज बेट तो होगा ही आदमी. आई सेड बाइटिंगली, फीचर्स यू डिडंट थिंक आई कुड एनिमेट देम आई सपोज, बट लेट मी सी द पिक्चर. फीचर्स मतलब यू डिडंट थिंक, तुमको क्या लगा मैं उनको एनिमेट नहीं कर, मैं अपना एक्सप्रेशन नहीं बदल सकता हूँ. आई सपोज बट लेट मी सी, ठीक है चलो मुझे फोटो देखने दो. ओ देयर इज नथिंग टू सी इट, है ना, अभी यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है देखने वाला. I have to develop the negative first, come back on Saturday and I'll let you see a proof of it. अभी मुझे इसका नेगेटिव क्या कहते हैं डेवलप करना है. सैटरडे को है ना, आई लेट यू सी द प्रूफ ऑफ इट, आई विल लेट यू सी द फोटो. ऑन सैटरडे आई वेंट बैक, फिर से सैटरडे को द फोटोग्राफर वेंट बैक, है ना. द फोटोग्राफ बेकेंड मी इन, द फोटोग्राफर बेकेंड मी इन, कॉल्ड मी इन. I thought he seemed quieter and graver than before, है ना. मुझे ऐसा लगा he was less serious and less quiet today. I think too there was a certain pride in his manner. I think too there was also some level of pride that he was prideful कि इतने खराब चेहरे की इतनी बेहतरीन तस्वीर मैंने ले ली है. He unfolded the proof of a large photograph and we both looked at it in silence, है ना. He unfolded a proof of, मतलब he unfolded basically एक rough draft of a photograph. It was a large photograph and we both looked at it silence, है ना. हम दोनों ने शांति से उसको 2 सेकंड देखा. The narrator asked, is it me? क्या ये मैं हूँ? Yes, he said quietly. The photographer said, yes, that is you. It is you. And we went on looking at it, और दोनों लोग उसको देखने लगे. The eyes hesitatingly said, they don't look very much like mine. मेरी जो आंखें हैं वो मेरी तरह लग नहीं रही हैं. मैंने बहुत क्वाइटली बोला. Oh no, he answered, I have retouched them, है ना. नहीं मैंने उनको रीटच किया है. They come out splendidly, don't they? Fine, I said, but surely my eyebrows are not like that. Yeah, fine, but मेरी eyebrows भी ऐसी नहीं है. Said no, the photographer, with a momentary glance at my face. The eyebrows are removed. We have a process now, the Delphite, for putting in new ones. You'll notice here where we have applied to carry the hair away from the brow. I don't like the hair low on the skull, है ना. मैंने आईब्रोज तुम्हारी गायब कर दी थी पूरी. एक नया प्रोसेस है जिसका नाम है डेल्फाइड फॉर पुटिंग इन न्यू वंस. फिर उससे हम लोग नई आईब्रोज डाल देते हैं. यूल नोटिस हियर, तुम यहाँ नोटिस कर सकते हो कि कहाँ पे हमने वो अप्लाई किया है. वी हैव टेकन द हेयर अवे फ्रॉम द ब्राउ. मुझे नहीं पसंद है जब इन द आईब्रोज सिट लो ऑन द स्कल, मतलब नीचे की तरफ, नॉट हायर ऑन बट नीचे की तरफ. ओ यू डोंट यू, आई सेड. ओ यू डोंट यू. नाउ this person is now getting sarcastic and satirical. He says, oh, you don't you? No, he went on, I don't care for it. I like to get the hair clear back to the superficies and make out a new brow line, है ना. I like to take them back, I like to push it up, and I like to make it clearer. What about the mouth? Now the narrator questions. तो फिर मुंह के बारे में क्या भाई ख्याल है तुम्हारा? I sit with a bitterness that was lost on the photograph. On the photograph, is that mine? है ना. पूछता है अच्छा फिर मुंह के बारे में क्या कहना है? Is that mine? क्या वो मेरा है? It's adjusted a little. थोड़ा सा मैंने उसको भी adjust कर दिया है. He said, yours is too low. I found I couldn't use it. है ना. Yours is too low, so I found I could not use it. The ear, though, I said, strike me as a good likeness. They are just like me, mine. Is it me? है ना. कहता the ears though, कान वो तो मुझे लग रहा है they are similar. They strike me that they are very familiar. So they are mine, right? Yes, said the photographer thoughtfully. That's so, but I can fix that all right in the print. we have a process now, the sulfide for removing the ears entirely, I'll see if, है ना. So he said हाँ वो तुम्हारे ही हैं लेकिन we'll fix them, उनको भी हम ठीक कर देंगे. there is a process called sulfide, उसमें ऐसा होता है. और उसकी बात को इंटरप्ट करते हुए कहता है नैरेटर, listen, I interrupted, drawing myself up and animating my features to their full extent and speaking with a withering scorn that should have blasted the man on the spot. Withering scorn, shouting basically. He started shouting and this is a satirical comment. कि कह रहा था ना कि मैं एनिमेट कर सकता हूँ, अपने फीचर्स नहीं कर सकता हूँ. So I animated my features and I shouted at him that would have blasted the man, मतलब it should have blown away the man on the spot. Listen, I came here a photograph, a picture, something which, mad though it seems, would have looked like me. I wanted something that would depict my face as heaven gave it to me, humble though the gift may have been. I wanted something that my friends might keep after my death to reconcile them to my loss. I seem that I was mistaken. What I wanted is no longer done. Go on then with your brutal work. है ना. वो कहता है listen, सुनो मेरी बात को. I came here for a photograph. मैं एक photograph के लिए आया था. A picture, something which, है ना, in brackets, mad though it seems, मतलब आप लोगों को लगेगा कि मैं पागल हूँ इस चीज के लिए. would have looked like me, हो सकता हो कि मेरी तरह लगती. I wanted something that would depict my face as heaven gave it to me. जैसा भगवान ने मुझे मेरा चेहरा दिया था, मैं चाहता था कि वो वैसे ही डिपिक्ट हो. Humble though the gift have been, जितना भी humble गिफ्ट मुझे दिया गया हो, है ना, जितना भी छोटा तोहफा मुझे आसमान से मिला है, खुदा ने दिया है मेरा चेहरा, मुझे वैसा ही चाहिए था. आई वॉन्टेड समथिंग दैट माई फ्रेंड्स माइट कीप, मुझे ऐसा चेहरा चाहिए था जो मेरा है, जो मेरी फोटो लोग रखें आफ्टर माई डेथ, टू रिमेंबर मी, टू रिकंसाइल देम टू माई लॉस, टू कंसोल देम विथ माई लॉस. इट सीम्स दैट आई वॉज मिस्टेकन, इट सीम्स दो एज दो आई वॉज मिस्टेकन. वॉट आई वॉन्टेड इज नो लॉन्गर डन, जो मुझे चाहिए था वो मुझे नहीं मिल पाया. Go on then with your brutal work, जो तुम्हारा काम है brutal work, मतलब cutting me down to size, करो उसे. Take your negative or whatever it is called, whatever it is you call it, dip it in sulfide, bromide, oxide, cowhide, anything you like. Remove the eyes, correct the mouth, adjust the face, restore the lips, reanimate the necktie, and reconstruct the waistcoat. Coat it with an inch of glass, shade it, emboss it, glide it till even you acknowledge that it is finished. Then when you have done all of that, keep it for yourself and your friends. They may value it. To me it is but a worthless bauble. I broke into tears and left. है ना. So this person started crying at the end of the story and he had a complete breakdown. है ना. उसने कहा जो भी है, सल्फाइड, ब्रोमाइड, ऑक्साइड एंड काउहाइड इज काउ डंग. फर्स्टली ही वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट केमिकल्स, देन लास्ट में ही स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग अबाउट काउ डंग. जो भी तुमको अच्छा लगे वो करो, आंखें ही निकाल दो, चेहरा सही कर दो, फेस एडजस्ट कर दो, लिप्स को रिस्टोर कर दो, रीएनिमेट कर दो, जो करना है कर लो, मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. करने के बाद अपने पास रखना, मेरे तक मत लाना. और क्या कहते हैं, it may be something that your friends and family might find well, but I don't, because पहली चीज तुमने मेरी जो इमेज है उसको तो खत्म कर दिया है ना. अब तुम क्या कर रहे हो, उसको तोड़ फोड़ करने के बाद एकदम मुझ पे ही चढ़ रहे हो कि भाई मैंने तुमको तो सही कर दिया है. सो आई डोंट विश फॉर दैट एंड यू कीप इट टू योर सेल्फ. और यहाँ पे द नैरेटर एग्जिट्स, है ना. सो द स्टोरी इज टॉकिंग अबाउट इनसिक्योरिटी एंड हाउ दिस पर्सन एट द एंड ऑफ इट was accepting of all of his flaws. He was not very confident about it, but the confidence started to loosen up when the first time he met the photographer. Later on what happened was he kept mentioning things that maybe the person himself has not noticed as well. He may have said कि मुझे सब पता है, मैं 40 साल से इसी चेहरे के साथ जी रहा हूँ, but when somebody points something out, it becomes difficult. एक मेरे जानने में थे, उनको कभी पता ही नहीं था कि देयर वॉज अ फोल्ड इन देयर हैंड. So when we mentioned it, it was a beautiful fold. It was not something that was bad. But when we mentioned it, they were so surprised. They were so surprised ki, oh, I have it, me, right? And how does this person know? I don't. So there are things that you don't notice about yourself that may be found beautiful or negative by the other, but they are there, right? And one knows how to live with it, and one does not care about it as well as much as the other person would. Maybe objectively, as this photographer who is taking a photo, maybe in a way that they love you, in a way that they admire you, in a way that they hate you. Could be multiple things. But you need to firstly learn how to live with yourself. Okay? With that, we have come to the end of the poem. Prose. Any question, doubt, queries, leave it in the comments. I am here for you. कल पेपर है, अच्छे से करके आते हैं. We are going to start with the last lesson now. This is basically the most culturally challenging story in your syllabus. It questions you to think about where you live, how you live there, and how much you give to your culture, how much you give to your society, and whatever teachings that are there that you are neglecting and not fulfilling that is there that for you, especially Indian students are watching this. हमारे यहाँ बहुत cultural diversity है ना? So at a point we take it for granted. This story tells us how not to take it for granted, because we don't know कि when a fallout is yet to happen, right? तो हमको बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे से केयरफुली और बहुत ज़्यादा क्या कहते हैं विलफुली अपने कल्चर को इनवाइब करना चाहिए अपने अंदर, और उसको क्या कहते हैं बिल्कुल भी ग्रांटेड नहीं लेना चाहिए. दिस इज रिटन अराउंड द फ्रैंको-रशियन वॉर, वेयर फ्रांस एंड फ्रैंको-प्रशियन वॉर, वेयर जर्मनी टुक ओवर Russia, right? Germany took over Russia, or sorry, Germany took over France. So this is around that time, and these students, what is happening in the story is that these students are now facing the complete paradigm shift where they have to learn German from the next day. They will not learn French, and all of their cultural identity is going to be tarnished. So one of the major themes of the poem prose is cultural identity and theft of cultural identity, right? So let's begin line by line. I started for school very late that morning and was in great dread of a scolding, especially because M. Hamel had said that he would question us on participles, and I did not know the first word about them. So this boy is startled. He started very late for school this day, and he was very late that morning. He was quite late, and he was scared that his teacher will give him a good scolding, because he was asked to learn about participles the previous day, and he did not prepare it, and he was about to get questioned on it, right? And he did not know the first word about participles. For a moment, I thought of running away and spending the day out of doors, है ना? पहले मैंने सोचा कि चलो कोई नहीं, स्कूल नहीं जाते हैं, बंक मार देते हैं और बाहर सड़कों पे आवारागर्दी, जो कि आजकल के बच्चे बहुत ज़्यादा करते हैं. It was so warm, so bright, इतना ज़्यादा गर्म था और इतना bright था. मतलब गर्म नहीं था, but it was so nicely temperated that it felt warm on your skin but did not feel bad एक तरीके से. So bright, it was so bright, the sun was shining brightly, the birds were chirping, जो birds थी वो chirp कर रही थी at the edge of the woods, है ना? तो this child is very much fond of nature. This tells us that. And in the open field back of the sawmill, the Prussian soldiers were drilling. और क्या कहते हैं, फील्ड में बैक ऑफ द सॉमिल जो होती है बेसिकली विंडमिल्स जो होती हैं उनका एक रेप्लिका होता है, वो क्या कहते हैं चक्की पीसने के काम आता है। सॉमिल द प्रशियन सोल्जर्स वर ड्रिलिंग, वहाँ पे प्रशियन सोल्जर्स प्रेजेंट थे और अपनी ड्रिल्स कर रहे थे, मार्चेस कर रहे थे। इट वॉज ऑल मच मोर टेम्पटिंग देन द रूल फॉर पार्टिसिपल्स। इट वॉज मच मोर टेम्पटिंग, कोई सी भी बच्चा होगा ये सब चीज़ें और कहाँ क्लास में बैठ के पढ़ाई, इट इज़ मच मोर टेम्पटिंग देन दैट, बट आई हैड द स्ट्रेंथ टू रेजिस्ट इट एंड हरीड ऑफ टू स्कूल। बट मेरे पास इतनी हिम्मत थी उस दिन कि मैंने उसको रेजिस्ट किया और मैं स्कूल चला गया। When I passed the town hall, there was a crowd in front of me, the bulletin board. For the last 2 years, all our bad news had come from there. The lost battles, the draft, the orders of the commanding officer, and I thought to myself without stopping, what can be the matter now? अब वो जब टाउन हॉल के पास से गुजरा तो वहां पे एक बुलेटिन बोर्ड था, जैसे स्कूल में एक नोटिस बोर्ड नहीं लगा होता है जैसी गेट एंटर करते हैं वो चीज। एंड पिछले 2 सालों से सिंस द टाइम द वॉर हैज बिगन वहीं पे सारी खराब खबरें आ रही थी। एंड दिस बॉय इज क्वेश्चनिंग कि अब क्या ऐसा हुआ है कि जो हम लोगों को इस पे एक नोटिस मिल रहा है ना। यहाँ पे लॉस्ट बैटल्स, द एरियाज दैट दीज पीपल लॉस्ट वाइल फाइटिंग द वॉर, the draft where students were drafted for it for army and they were asked to come into battle, the orders जो orders दिए हैं, मे बी लॉकडाउन्स लगे होंगे and all of that stuff कि कमांडिंग ऑफिसर ने जो दिए। एंड आई थॉट टू माई सेल्फ विदाउट स्टॉपिंग, और इसने सोचा रुके बिना कि अब क्या हो गया, वॉट कैन बी द मैटर नाउ, वॉट इज द मैटर नाउ। Then, as I hurried as fast as I could go, the blacksmith watcher who was there with his apprentice reading the bulletin called after me, है ना। जब मैं भाग रहा था तो एक ब्लैकस्मिथ वॉचर था, उसने क्या कहते हैं अपने अप्रेंटिस के साथ खड़े होके मुझे आवाज लगाई, जो कि बुलेटिन बोर्ड पढ़ रहे थे दोनों। डोंट गो सो फास्ट पब, यू विल गेट टू योर स्कूल इन प्लेंटी ऑफ टाइम। तो वो चिल्ला के बोला डोंट रन सो फास्ट, यू विल गेट इन टू योर स्कूल इन प्लेंटी ऑफ टाइम, अभी भी तुम पे काफी वक्त है। आई थॉट ही वॉज मेकिंग फन ऑफ मी, मुझे लगा कि वो मेरा मजाक उड़ा रहा है। एंड रीच एम हैमिल्स लिटिल गार्डन ऑल आउट ऑफ ब्रेथ, और मैं भागते भागते स्कूल पहुंचा। एम हैमिल का एक लिटिल गार्डन, छोटा सा गार्डन था, एंड वहां तक पहुंचते पहुंचते मेरी सांस उखड़ चुकी थी। यूजुअली when school began there was a great bustle which could be heard out in the street। अब जब भी हर बार क्या होता था, this day it was very different for the child। how ऐसे यूजुअली क्या होता था कि बहुत ज्यादा हसल बसल रहती थी, बहुत ज्यादा शोर शराबा होता था। टुडे इट इज नॉट द केस, है ना। सड़क पे बहुत ज्यादा शोर शराबा सुनाई देता था। द ओपनिंग एंड क्लोजिंग ऑफ डेस्क, लेसन्स रिपीटेड इन यूनिसन वेरी लाउड विथ आवर हैंड ओवर आवर ईयर्स टू understand better, and teacher's great ruler rapping on the table, but now it was all so still। I had counted on the commotion to get my desk without being seen, है ना। So he was counting on the commotion कि मैं अपनी डेस्क पे इतने शोर शराबा और इतनी नॉइज में आराम से पहुंच जाऊंगा, कोई नोटिस नहीं करेगा। बट टुडे वाज डिफरेंट, हाउ, बिकॉज देयर वाज no lessons being repeated in unison, there was no opening and closings of desk, there was no ruler being beaten on the table by the teacher, right? So everything was missing। But of course that day everything had to be so quiet as Sunday morning, right? But of course उस दिन सब कुछ इतना शांत था, and it had to be, and it felt like a Sunday morning। जब छुट्टी होती है, कोई कहीं जाता नहीं है, and when कोई जाता नहीं है तो फिर वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा पीस एंड क्वाइट होता है। थ्रू द विंडो आई सॉ माई क्लासमेट्स ऑलरेडी इन द प्लेस, मैंने खिड़की से देखा तो मेरे सारे क्लासमेट्स अपनी जगहों पे बैठ चुके थे। एंड एम हैमिल वॉकिंग अप एंड डाउन विथ हिज टेरेबल आयरन रूलर अंडर हिज आर्म। So M. Hamill was walking up and down, and he had his ruler besides him underneath his arm. I had to open the door and go in before everybody. You can imagine how I blushed and how frightened I was, है ना। मुझे दरवाजा खोल के जाना पड़ा, and सबके सामने, मतलब सब तो शांति से बैठे हुए हैं और वहाँ पे मुझे जाना पड़ रहा है ऐसे लेट कमर। और जाहिर सी बात है शर्म तो आएगी ही भाई, जब सब शांत बैठे हैं, पहले से प्रेजेंट है, टीचर खड़ा है, तो शर्म आई। एंड आई वॉज ब्लश्ड, मतलब आई वॉज शाय, एंड मुझे डर भी लग रहा था कि एम हैमिल मुझे अब डांटेंगे कि इतना लेट क्यों आए हो। बट नथिंग हैपेंड, बट ऐसा कुछ हुआ नहीं, राइट. एम हैमिल सॉ मी एंड सेड वेरी काइंडली. एम हैमिल ने मुझे देखा और बहुत काइंडली बोला, गो टू योर प्लेस क्विकली लिटिल फ्रांस. दिस इज द नेम ऑफ द किड. दिस इज द फर्स्ट टाइम हमको उसके नाम से इंट्रोड्यूस कराया गया है. अपनी जगह पे जाके बैठ जाओ फ्रांस, जल्दी से. वी वर बिगनिंग विदाउट यू. हम लोग बस बिगिन करने वाले थे विदाउट यू. I jumped over the bench and sat down at my desk. Not till then, when I had got a little over my fright, did I see that our teacher had on his beautiful green coat. है ना, मैं कूद के बैठ गया और जब तक मेरा डर खत्म हुआ तब मुझे रियलाइज हुआ कि हमारा जो टीचर है वो आज अपना ब्यूटीफुल ग्रीन कोट पहने. सेकेंड चीज विच वॉज अनयूजुअल अबाउट द डे, फर्स्टली देर वॉज नो नॉइज, सेकेंडली द टीचर वॉज वेयरिंग हिज ब्यूटीफुल ग्रीन कोट. His frilled shirt, the shirt which is frilled that he owns, he's also wearing that, and little black silk cap, and he's wearing a black silk cap, all embroidered, which is all embroidered. It has work that has been done in it that he never wore except on inspection and prize days. This was the outfit that he used to wear when inspection and prize days. Besides, the whole school seemed so strange and solemn. पूरा स्कूल जो था वो बहुत स्ट्रेंज और solemn. It was very strange that day and it felt very solemn. It felt very quiet. But the thing that surprised me most was to see on the back benches that were always empty the village people sitting quietly like ourselves. है ना. तो लेकिन क्या सबसे अम्यूजिंग चीज थी, जो बेंचेस पीछे क्लास में छुट नहीं जाती हैं खाली, उन पे अब कौन बैठ गया था आके, जो विलेज के लोग थे वो बैठे हुए थे. So that was the most unusual thing. अभी तीन चीजें लिस्ट हो चुकी हैं. पहली चीज, there was a lot of noise which was there usually, now it is not. The teacher is wearing the best attire that he owns, which he only wears on prize days and inspection days. And now that the villagers are also sitting, it is making it more strange. Sitting quietly, बहुत चुपचाप बैठे थे. Old Hauser with his 3-cornered hat, the former mayor, the former postmaster, and several others besides. So who all were present? Old Hauser was present with a cornered hat. Former mayor, पुराने मेयर जो थे वो प्रेजेंट थे. पोस्टमास्टर भी प्रेजेंट थे और उनके अलावा भी और लोग प्रेजेंट थे. Everybody looked sad and Hauser had brought an old primer thumbed at the edges and he held it open on his knees with his great spectacles eyeing across the page. So old Hauser क्या लेके आया था? एक old primer लेके आया था, thumbed at the edges, जिसको thumb किया गया था उसकी edges पे, and he held it open on his knees, अपने घुटनों पे खोल के रखा था, with his great spectacles eyeing across the page, और उसके जो चश्मे थे they were eyeing across the pages. और one thing to note was everybody looked sad. While I was wondering about it all, जब तक मैं सेंस बना पाता इन चीज़ों का, एम हैमिल माउंटेड हिज चेयर, वो अपनी चेयर पे जाके बैठ गए, एंड इन द सेम ग्रेव एंड जेंटल टोन विच he had used to me said, My children, this is the last lesson I shall give you. The order has come from Berlin to teach only Germany in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. The new master comes tomorrow. This is your last French lesson. I want you to be very attentive. तो अब वो जब तक सेंस बना पाता है इन चीज़ों का, तब तक बता दिया गया कि नहीं बच्चों, ये तुम्हारा लास्ट फ्रेंच लेसन है. ऑर्डर कहाँ से आया है? बर्लिन से आया है. द सिटी विच इज इन जर्मनी, प्रशियंस हैव वॉन, और अल्सैक एंड लोरेन में क्या पढ़ाई जाएगी? अब जर्मन पढ़ाई जाएगी. जो नया मास्टर है जो जर्मन पढ़ा पाएगा वो कल आएगा, और आज तुम्हारा आखिरी लेसन है फ्रेंच में. तो इस बात पे ज्यादा गौर करना. वॉट अ थंडर क्लैप दीज वर्ड्स वर टू मी. वॉट सॉर्ट ऑफ अ थंडर क्लैप, मतलब एकदम बादल जब गरजता है तो एकदम से आदमी शॉक नहीं हो जाता है. दैट टाइप ऑफ अ फीलिंग वेंट थ्रू द हेड ऑफ दिस लिटिल बॉय फ्रांस. ओ द रिचेस, है ना, ही सेज ओ द रिचेस, दैट वाज व्हाट दे हैड पुट अप एट द टाउन हॉल. अच्छा, तो यही चीज थी जो टाउन हॉल पे बुलेटिन बोर्ड पे लगी हुई थी. अब समझ में आया मुझे. My last French lesson, why I hardly knew how to write. माई लास्ट, ये मेरा आखिरी लेसन है इन फ्रेंच. सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेज ऑफ ग्रीफ, डिनाइल. क्या ये मेरा आखिरी लेसन है? नहीं हो सकता यार, मुझे तो लिखना भी नहीं आता है अभी सही से. आई शुड नेवर लर्न एनी मोर, है ना, मुझे और नहीं सीखना है. आई मस्ट स्टॉप देयर. देन ओ हाउ सॉरी आई वॉज फॉर नॉट लर्निंग माई लेसन. आई मस्ट स्टॉप देयर. अभी रुकना पड़ेगा, मैंने कभी ढंग से पढ़ाई करी नहीं. ओ हाउ फॉरगिविंग कह रहा हूं. How apologetic I am for not learning my lessons properly, for seeking birds' eggs or going sliding on the Sahar. My books that had seemed such a nuisance a while ago, so heavy to carry, my grammar and my history of the saints, were old friends now that I couldn't give up. And M. Hamel too, the idea that he was going away, that I should never see him again, made me forget all about his ruler and how cranky he was. है ना. तो सीकिंग बर्ड एग्स ढूंढने निकल जाता था बंक मार के, या फिर स्लाइडिंग करने चला जाता था सार पे. सो माई बुक्स दैट हैव सीम सच अ न्यूसेंस, जो बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ी एक न्यूसेंस लगती थी मुझे पहले, एंड दे वर सो हैवी टू कैरी. माई ग्रामर एंड माई हिस्ट्री ऑफ द सेंट्स वर ओल्ड फ्रेंड्स नाउ दैट आई कुड नॉट गिव अप. है ना, माई ग्रामर की बुक और माई हिस्ट्री ऑफ सेंट्स की बुक आर ओल्ड फ्रेंड्स टू मी नाउ एंड आई कांट गिव देम अप. एंड एम हैमल जो मेरा टीचर था वो क्रैंकी, मतलब एक तरीके से रूड जो लगता था, और ऑलवेज ही वॉज इन अ बैड मूड. और उसका रूलर जो एकदम मुझे डरा के रखता था. आई फॉरगॉटन ऑल अबाउट इट, दैट दिस इज द लास्ट लेसन दैट आई एम गेटिंग फ्रॉम हिम. इट मेक्स मी नॉट वॉन्ट टू गिव हिम अप एज वेल. Poor man, it was in honor of this last lesson that he had put on his fine Sunday clothes. Poor man, bichara आदमी, it was in honor, because it was in honor, that is why he has been wearing such fine clothes that he used to wear on occasion. And now I understand why the old men of the village were sitting there in the back of the room. अब मुझे समझ में आ रहा है कि कमरे के पीछे ये जो पुराने बूढ़े लोग हैं, बुजुर्ग लोग हैं, बैठे क्यों हैं. It was because they were sorry too, that they had not gone to school more, because they were sorry that they never went to school more. It was their way of thanking our master for his 40 years of faithful service. So how long did M. Hamel teach? He taught for 40 consecutive years. So he is a teacher of great age, है ना. It was a way to thank that master, that is why these people are also present, and of showing their respect for the country that was theirs no more. And they were trying to show respect for a country that has been captured. While I was thinking all of this, I heard my name called out. It was my turn to recite. While I was thinking, जब उस मेरे दिमाग में ये सब चीज़ें चल रही थी, तो it finally came my turn to recite, मतलब जो लेसन बोला गया था वो पढ़ने के लिए. What would I not have given to be able to say that dreadful rule for participle? All I thought all one through were very loud and clear and without one mistake, but I got mixed up on the first word and stood there. हुआ क्या कि इतना ज़्यादा ड्रेडफुल जो रूल था पार्टिसिपल को, उसको याद करने के लिए नाउ द लिटिल बॉय कैन गिव अप एनीथिंग. एंड सब जो बच्चे थे दे वर वेरी लाउड एंड क्लियर एंड दे हैड नो मिस्टेक, बट फ्रांस he got it mixed up in the first line itself, first word, and stood there and started standing there. Holding on to my desk, मैं अपनी डेस्क को पकड़ के खड़ा था, my heart beating, और मेरा दिल बहुत तेजी से धड़क रहा था, and not daring to look up, and I did not have the gall to look up to M. Hamel. I heard M. Hamel say to me, I won't scold you little Franz, you must feel bad enough. मैं तुमको नहीं डांटूंगा फ्रांस, you must feel bad enough right now. See how it is, every day we have said to ourselves, bah, I have plenty of time, I'll learn it tomorrow. And now you see where we have come out. That's the great trouble with Alsac. She puts off learning till tomorrow. तो वो क्या कह रहा है कि सी कैसे तुम लोग हर दिन इस चीज को इतना ग्रांटेड लेते थे और कहते थे अरे कल पढ़ लेंगे यार, आज कोई जरूरत नहीं है, आज नहीं कल पढ़ लेंगे. एंड नाउ यू सी वेयर वी हैव कम आउट. और तुमको अब दिख रहा है कि कहाँ पहुंच गए हम लोग. द ग्रेट ट्रबल विथ अल्सैक इज कि वो हर चीज कल के लिए टाल देती है. मतलब दिस सिटी, द पीपल ऑफ दिस सिटी आर लेजी इन अ सेंस दैट दे डोंट टेक अप द responsibility of learning at that same day. Now those fellows out there will have the right to say to you, how is it you pretended to be Frenchmen and yet you can neither speak nor write your own language. अब वो लोग तुमसे बोलेंगे कैसा लग रहा है एक फ्रेंचमैन होने को प्रिटेंड करने पे, एंड अब तुम ना बोल सकते हो ना लिख सकते हो सही से फ्रेंच, तुमको खुद ही की भाषा नहीं आती है. हाउ डज इट फील? बट यू आर नॉट द वर्स्ट पुअर लिटिल फ्रांस, वी हैव ऑल अ ग्रेट डील टू रिप्रोच आवरसेल्व्स विद. बट तुम सबसे खराब नहीं हो इन सब में, तुम्हारे से ज्यादा रिप्रोच हम सब में है, तुम्हारे से ज्यादा गलतियां हम लोगों ने की है. योर पेरेंट्स वर नॉट एंशियस इनफ टू हैव यू लर्न, तुम्हारे माँ बाप इतने एंशियस नहीं थे कि वो तुमको फोर्स करते पढ़ाई के लिए. दे प्रेफर्ड टू पुट यू टू वर्क ऑन अ फार्म और एट द मिल सो एज टू हैव अ लिटिल मोर मनी. उन्होंने क्या किया लेकिन, दे प्रेफर्ड दैट यू वर्क इन अ फार्म और अ मिल. Why? So the family has a little more money, and I have been to blame also. Have I not often sent you to water my flowers instead of learning your lessons? और मैं भी blame करने के लिए हूँ. मैंने भी तुमको बहुत बार अपने पौधों में पानी देने के लिए भेजा है, rather than learning your lessons, है ना, rather than taking up your classes. And when I wanted to go fishing, did I not just give you a holiday? Then from one thing to another, M. Hamel went on to talk about the French language, saying that it was the most beautiful language in the world, the clearest, the most logical, that we must guard it amongst us and never forget it, because when a people are enslaved, as long as they hold fast to their language, it is as if they had the key to their prison. Then he opened the grammar book and read us our lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood it. All he said seemed so easy I think too, that I had never listened so carefully. है ना. अब ये महाशय जब फिशिंग करने जाते थे तो बच्चों को छुट्टी दे जाते थे, है ना, तो एक के बाद एक चीज वो लिस्ट करते गए. एम हैमल लेटर व्हाट ही डिड वाज he started talking about the French language, where he called it the most beautiful language, the clearest, the most logical, and we must guard it amongst ourselves and never forget, और कभी नहीं भूलना चाहिए. Because when people are enslaved by other people, their cultural identity becomes warped, and their cultural identity is the only thing, if it is contained well, it is the only thing that can carry forward their resolve, right? If you are in love with your culture and you have a lot of resolve for it, then only you are going to survive if some fallout like that ever happens. As long as they hold fast to their language, as long as they hold fast to whatever language they speak, it is as if they had the key to the prison. It is like you have a key to their prison. You don't falter, you don't get enslaved by them. You know what keys, what do you need to do, and you are not willingly forced by them. Then he opened a book of grammar and read us the lesson. I was amazed to see how well I understood it. Why the little boy Franz is amazed is because this is the first time that he has ever paid enough attention to the teacher in the class, and he is amazed to see how well this teacher teaches in a way. All he said seemed so easy. जो भी उन्होंने बताया, it seemed so easy. I think too that I had never listened so carefully. I think that I have never listened so carefully. This tells us कि कितना ज़्यादा डेप्थ में फोकस के साथ पढ़ाई करी है इस बार, and it is helping the boy out so much. And that he had never explained everything with so much patience. And the teacher is giving the best he can, because this is his last lesson as well. So he has never explained in such detail and patience. It seemed almost as if the poor man wanted to give us all he knew before going away, and to put it all into our heads at one stroke. The lesson that was given by the old man to them was so precise that it felt like he wanted to deliver everything he knew about French to these kids in that one class, and and he wanted it to instill it in that way that it remains in their head. ये हर टीचर का होता है, मेरा भी रहता है कि मैं अगर कुछ पढ़ा रहा हूँ, so I teach it with such precision that आप लोगों को याद रहे. After the grammar we had a lesson in writing. ग्रामर खत्म हुई तो फिर लिटरेचर का लेसन था. दैट डे एम हैमल हैड न्यू कॉपीज फॉर अस. उस दिन एम हैमल बॉट देम न्यू कॉपीज रिटन इन अ ब्यूटिफुल राउंड हैंड, फ्रांस अल्सैक, फ्रांस अल्सैक. They looked like little flags floating everywhere in the schoolroom, hung from the rod at the top of her desk. You have seen how everyone set to work. You ought to have seen how everyone set to work, right? अब वहां पे एक कॉपीज दी और इन अ ब्यूटिफुल राउंड हैंड ये चीज लिखी थी, फ्रांस अल्सैक, फ्रांस अल्सैक. दे लुक लाइक लिटिल फ्लैग्स. वो एक छोटे फ्लैग्स की तरह लग रहे थे. फ्लोटिंग एवरीवेयर, दे वर फ्लोइंग एवरीवेयर इन द स्कूल रूम. और इसको एक रॉड से लेके अब टॉप ऑफ द डेस्क पे लगा दिया गया था. एंड यू ऑट, आपको लोगों को कहना चाह रहा है, इट फेल्ट सो ब्यूटिफुल दैट यू नीडेड टू सी इट टू रियलाइज द ब्यूटी ऑफ इट. एंड हाउ क्वाइट इट वॉज, एंड हाउ क्वाइट इट वॉज दैट डे. The only sound was the scratching of the pens over the paper. The only thing you could hear was pens scratching the paper. Once some beetles flew in, but nobody paid an attention to them. थोड़े से बीटल्स आए कमरे में, बट किसी ने भी उन पर ध्यान नहीं दिया. Not even the littlest ones who worked right on tracing their fish hooks, as if that was French too. On the roof the pigeons cooed very low, and I thought to myself, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons, right? जो छोटे छोटे बच्चे थे जिनका काम था अपना फिश हुक ट्रेस कर रहे थे, उनके फिशिंग की क्लास होगी कुछ, तो वो भी इतना प्रिसाइसली कर रहे थे कि लग रहा था कि वो भी फ्रेंच है. देयर इज अ लेवल ऑफ फ्रेंचनेस टू दैट, है ना. और फिर जो कबूतर थे वो छत पे जाके कू कर रहे थे, तो द किड थॉट कि क्या इनसे भी फ्रेंच की जगह जर्मन में कू करवाया जाएगा. सो दैट इज अ थॉट विच इज नॉट पॉसिबल, but it is the thought that shows the authoritarianism in this poem, right? In this story, the dictatorship in this story. You are forcing something without the will of that person, and you are forcing culture onto a already cultural land. Whenever I looked up from my writing, I saw M. Hamel sitting motionless in his chair, gazing at one thing. है ना, जब भी मैंने मुंडी हटा के एम हैमल की तरफ देखा तो he was motionless, he was not moving, he was not doing anything, and he was looking at one thing, then at another. एक चीज से दूसरी चीज देख रहे थे, as if he wanted to fix in his mind just how everything looked in that little school room. जैसा लग रहा था कि वो ये सारी चीजें एकदम, he was absorbing a lot of it, he was absorbing everything, because this is his last lesson, he wants to encapsulate it in his mind permanently. Fancy, for 40 years he had been there in the same place with his garden outside the window and his class in front of him, just like that. Only the desk and benches had been worn smooth. The walnut trees in the garden were taller, and the hop vine that he had planted himself twined about the windows to the roof. How it must have broken his heart to leave it all. Poor man, to hear his sister moving about in the room above, packing their trunks, for they must leave the country next day. तो 40 साल से आदमी ने वक्त दे दिया है. अब वो वक्त कैसे दिख रहा है इसमें, उसका जो गार्डन था बाहर वो was just outside the window of the class. वहाँ डेस्क और जो बेंचेस थी क्लास की, दे हैव बीन वॉर्न स्मूथ, उनकी फिनिश तक हट चुकी थी, बिकॉज उस पर इतने बच्चे इतनी बार आके बैठे हैं, 40 साल से वही बेंचेस यूज हो रही हैं। जो वॉलनट ट्रीज हैं गार्डन में, दे हैव ग्रोन टॉलर, वो लंबी हो चुकी है, बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ चुकी हैं साइज में। एंड अ हॉप वाइन, जो उसने वाइन प्लेस की थी। अब आप लोगों ने वो देखा होगा मनी प्लांट ग्रोज एंड इट ग्रोज इन ऑल डायरेक्शंस। उसी तरीके से खिड़की से लेके छत तक वो हॉप वाइन बढ़ चुकी थी। हाउ इट मस्ट हैव ब्रोकन हेड, कितना बुरा लग रहा होगा मिस्टर एम हैमल को टू लीव ऑल ऑफ हिज। एंड थिंग इज, he was hearing his sister packing everything upstairs when they were, because they were about to leave the next day. So he was hearing everything. It was like you are sitting in an environment where you know you are going to leave it, you have been there for 40 minutes and there is a constant reminder ki jana hai. So that is what this person is facing right now. But he had the courage to hear every lesson to the very last. But he had the courage that he heard every student speak the lesson to the very last. After the writing, we had a lesson in history, and then the babies chanted their ba, bee, bo down there at the back of the room. Old Hauser had put on his spectacles and holding his primer in both hands, spelled the letters with them. You could see that he too was crying and his voice trembled with emotion, and it was so funny to hear him that we all wanted to laugh and cry. Ah, how well I remember it. That last lesson, all at once the church clock struck 12. Then Angelus, at the same moment, trumpets of the Prussians. Anything more? Yes, there is. So, अब यहाँ पे क्या हुआ कि जो राइटिंग का लेसन था उसके बाद इनका एक हिस्ट्री लेसन था, बट पीछे बच्चे बा, बी, बुई, बो ये सब पढ़ रहे थे. दिस माइट बी लेटर्स फॉर फ्रेंड्स, राइट. डाउन देयर एट द बैक ऑफ द रूम, कमरे के एकदम पीछे. और ओल्ड हॉजर जो था वो अपने स्पेक्टिकल्स लगाए हुए था, अपना प्राइमर दोनों हाथों में पकड़े हुए, और वो उन बच्चों के साथ उन लेटर्स को स्पेल कर रहा था. लेकिन you could see that he too was crying. He was crying and his voice was trembling with emotion, right? And it was so funny to hear him that these students wanted to laugh and cry, but the moment was so heavy that they could not. And now this narrator is reminiscing about how well he remembers all of it. All at once the church clock struck 12. जैसी 12 बजा, then the Angelus, है ना, और फिर Angelus is a mythological figure that is trying to refer to कि अब खत्म हो गई हैं चीजें. At the same moment the trumpets of the Prussians, जैसी ये चीज हुई तो Prussians के trumpets बजने लगे. Returning from the drill, अब वो ड्रिल से लौट रहे थे. Sounded under our windows, है ना, वो हमारी विंडोज के नीचे सुनाई देने लगा. M. Hamel stood up very pale in his chair. I never saw him look so tall, है ना. M. Hamel stood up in his chair. I never saw him stand so tall. My friend, said he. But something choked him. He was feeling emotional, so maybe he started tearing up. He could not go on. Then he turned to the blackboard, took a piece of chalk, and bearing on with all his might, he wrote as large as he could, Viva la France. This means long live France. Then he stopped and leaned his head against the wall, and without a word he made a gesture to us with the hand. School is dismissed, you may go. है ना. So this teacher, he choked up. He started feeling emotional, but he did not want to cry in front of his students. So instead what he did was he turned his face towards the blackboard. He wrote Long live France. Then he stopped and leaned against the wall. He took a breath of relief and he instructed the students to go. With this, the prose is finished. I hope you understood all of it and what are the key details of it. If there are any doubts and questions, please do leave in the comments as well.